y'all, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Dear Woman, I Got Y'all, which is a podcast all about empowering and inspiring women through all walks of life, through honest and open conversation. So today's topic is something that is very near and dear to my heart, and it's all about healing, but more so about the lessons that I've learned through my failed relationships. I like to think that I'm the queen of the healing girl. Through a lot of these failed relationships, I've learned so many lessons. So about a year or two ago, I went viral on TikTok because I got out of a relationship through infidelity, of course. But I spent about an hour and a half sitting in my car just venting to TikTok about how does it feel to be with somebody that you're just so loyal to and you're so honest to, and in exchange, they just don't give you that respect back. And next thing you know, the post went viral. So today I really want to talk about some of the lessons that I learned about just my last two failed relationships and what does healing really mean for someone like me. Lesson number one that I learned is acceptance. I feel like this is probably one of the hardest ones. And the thing is, you have to accept that the relationship is over. The crazy thing about this is, I don't know about y'all, but when I get out of a relationship, and I feel like a lot of people do this, is when you get out of a relationship with somebody, you spend a month, a couple weeks, or even sometimes 3 to 6 months still having interaction with that person. I don't know if it's the feeling of you miss them or you feel like there's a potential for you guys to get back over, but eventually you get to a point, I feel like something happens and you get to a point where you have to accept yo, this relationship is officially over. And with that comes emotions. You'll be angry, you'll feel guilt, you'll feel sad, you feel depressed. You're gonna keep asking yourself, why me? Why me? What did I really lose? And at the end of the day, you really didn't lose anything. Through this lessons of acceptance, I've learned that one, you're gonna have low days. They're normal. You're gonna have a period of time where you're so happy and you're moving on and you're like, yo, I got this. I don't need him. F him. And then you're going to be like, wait, I miss him. I need to call him. And then you also have to understand, in order for you to have to heal a wound, you have to stop touching it. Meaning after a period of time, once you have accepted that the relationship is over, you have to stop communication. You have to stop talking to them, because at the end of the day, you have to start focusing on yourself. Once you get to a point where you understand and you accept that the relationship is over, you can start kind of moving on a little bit. Now, it's not a 2-week process and it might not be a 1-week process, but one of the biggest lessons that I learned, and once I accepted that the relationship was over, I could start working on a little bit of me. I could start working on my self-worth. I could start working on back to my friendships and living my life without the person that I spent so much time with. Lesson number 2 is self-reflection. This is also a big one. I think a lot of the time, women, we put 100% of blame on men when it comes to why a relationship ends. But if you really want to be honest with yourself, we always play some part into a relationship. And me getting out of some of these failed relationships, I had a moment to say, hey, yes, he did about 80% of the work, but what's the 20%? What part did I play in this relationship where it didn't work out? If you look at relationships, they're kind of like mirrors. You get a chance to look at the good stuff and you get to look at the bad stuff. One of the biggest things that I learned about myself in my failed relationships is I'm super controlling. I don't know if it's the Leo in me or whatever it is, but I have to control everything. I have to control the narrative, and I'm very dominant. So a lot of the time in relationships, I act like the man in the relationship, which is wild, right? Because I'm a Leo, I'm a strong female, I'm dominant. And if I'm in a relationship with a man and I'm not letting a man be a man, it's kind of like I'm hurting their ego in a sense. So it's a lesson that I learned moving into my next relationships, is sometimes I have to tone that down. I have to allow a man to be a man. I think for women, we have to start blaming men for everything. And sometimes in our failed relationships, we have to take a moment to look at ourselves and understand, what role did I play? Now, it's also self-reflecting on moments in a relationship as well, because there's a lot of times in my last relationship where my intuition told me something wasn't right. But for me, I kept rolling through the punches and thought it was going to get better. As a woman, you have to trust your gut. You have to trust your feelings. You have to trust patterns and not apologies in a relationship. A moment of reflection where your intuition told you the person is not right for you, or their story that they tell you didn't add up. Sometimes we try to be too good and we try to cover up and we try to follow the patterns. Miss me with the apologies, but also take the time to reflect on what part of the relationship you played and fix that, so when you go into your next relationship, you can have something that's healthier and you can also have a healthy partner. Lesson number 3 is boundaries. I talk about this on my channel all the time. You have to be able to set healthy boundaries with yourself. And let me tell you something. Everybody is not going to understand what you're going through. They're going to think that you're being dramatic, and people are going to be triggered by your boundaries. You have to set boundaries not just in your relationships, but in your friendships, with your work, and even with yourself. And that's one of the things that I learned from my past relationships. I had no boundaries whatsoever. I just let too much shit fly. At the end of the day, it just came and it shattered in my face. Boundaries are for you to have a safe space for yourself, for you to be able to speak up for yourself, for you to be able to know your self-worth. And at the end of the day, if people don't respect your boundaries, those are people that you don't need to have in your life at the end of the day. Lesson number 4, and this is a new one that I learned, and I actually like this one. New people are gonna enter your life to replace the people that exit. So for a long time, when I went through my healing journey, I went through my failed relationships, I felt like I had to be by myself for a long time. At some point you do. When you get out of a relationship, you do need to spend some time with yourself. You need to learn yourself again. You need to be in love with yourself again. You need to spend time with yourself again. You have to enjoy being by yourself. But you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna meet new friends and you might meet a new partner, and they're gonna help you heal. I'm a true believer that you're gonna heal for the rest of your life. You might be healing from a relationship, a friendship, work, from past trauma. You have to have a partner that understands that you're gonna be healing forever. And they might be healing from something too. So don't ever feel like you can't heal with somebody. But the amazing thing that I've learned through my past relationships is these new people that come to my life, I want to invite them in. They're people that are bringing positive energy. They're people that are bringing new perspectives into my life. They're people that I need to help me through my healing journey. And it doesn't even have to be from a romantic sense, but let these people come in and help you. You can't do therapy by yourself. You can't help just yourself by yourself. You need good people in your corner to help you. So the next time that you go through a failed relationship and you have new people that are trying to come in your life, even from a friend perspective, invite them in. Allow them to come in and be open with them about what you're going through. And if there's somebody that wants to seek you romantically and they understand like this is what you're going through, they will respect that. In my last relationship, I dated my ex for 6 months until I wanted to make it official because I spent those 6 months working on myself. And I told him, hey, I want to spend these 6 months really making sure that I want to be in a relationship again. I need to get back to myself. I need to be happy with myself before I get in a relationship with you. And he wanted to be in a relationship 2 months in and 3 months in. And with my boundaries that I set in place, I said, no, like, give me some more time. And if he wanted to be with me, that he would respect that. Now, if the person doesn't, then sis, that ain't the person for you. Lesson number 5. Actually, I think this is the most important one. I know I said the first one wasn't the most important, but this is the most important one. Self-love and self-care. You have to put yourself first. You have to be in love with yourself. You have to love yourself more than you love the partner that you're with. And let me say that. When you get out of a failed relationship, you feel depleted, you feel depressed, you hate yourself, you keep asking yourself, what did I lose? Why me? And it's like, it's so hard for you to love yourself because you spend so much time wondering why that person did what they did to you. It wasn't until my late 30s that I understood what self-worth meant, what self-care meant, what self-love. Like, I couldn't go to a restaurant and eat by myself. I couldn't spend time by myself. I couldn't sit in silence in my own apartment by myself because I felt so uncomfortable. I felt like I always had to be in the company of somebody. Once you learn how to be by yourself, it's so much easier and so much more fluid to be able to start seeking somebody romantically. And your expectations are so much lower. If somebody hurts your feelings, if somebody calls you out on a date, or they don't make it, or their needs don't match your needs, your expectations are so low that it's like, okay, cool. Like, our stars don't align, that's okay. And you're so good with yourself that you don't even need no one else. So spend time to focus on yourself spiritually, emotionally, mentally. Get in the gym, go to a yoga class, travel by yourself, take yourself out on a date, write positive affirmations, journal, like fall in love with yourself so that when somebody falls in love with you, it's an even greater feeling. Remember, healing, it takes time. And it's a journey, but the amazing thing about it is you discover yourself in so many beautiful ways that nobody's gonna be able to touch you. Remember to embrace acceptance and set healthy boundaries with people and let new people into your life. And remember, you're not alone. All of us are going through a healing journey in some form or fashion. Dear Women I Got Y'all is here to support you. Feel free to drop your comments and share your stories on today's episode, and I cannot wait to see you on the next one. Peace out. Hey y'all, what's up? It's Jazmin with Dear Women I Got Y'all, and thanks for watching. Check out our other shows, Women of TmrO and Hidden Hands.